Right, hi. So recently we ran a webinar with Felix Wang from Google on how Google does design sprints. Now, as part of that, we had a Q&A and there were far more questions asked than we were able to answer. So we started putting together a Q&A board, which we're going to share with everyone. And when that's done, we'll put a link, maybe even on this. And what happened was I thought maybe it'd be fun to answer a few more of those questions here. So one of the questions which I thought was really good was, what's your average prep time to delivery time for a design sprint? So how much time should I set aside? Now, I take it that is from the point of view of a facilitator, someone who's going to be responsible for organizing this design sprint. Right, so what I thought I'd try and do is I would try and tell you in 1 minute all of the tasks you're going to need to do, which actually is going to be pretty challenging because it's going to look a bit more like this. So just like an iceberg, most of the work that you're going to be doing in that design sprint as a facilitator is going to be unseen. So what are those tasks going to be? Let's see if we can do this in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to start a timer for a minute. So first of all, you're going to kick off 3 to 7 weeks before you run your design sprint. And where you're going to gather your research, qualitative and quantitative, and synthesize it. You're going to have to interview internally and externally stakeholders and draft a problem framing agenda. Because that's the next stage. We'll definitely run a problem framing workshop. So this is like the decision makers. And in the sprint, we're going to have the makers. So they would define what the right challenge is for the design sprint, get stakeholder buy-in, pick the right team, and understand also who your user is going to be. Very important for a design sprint. You need a user. And then 1 to 2 weeks we've still got before the design sprint where we can look, are there any gaps? Can we conduct extra research, validate the sprint brief with the stakeholders, and make sure we've got the right team to solve the problem? If we don't know what the problem is, how do we know if we've got the right people to solve it? And sort out all those logistics. Then easy, 4-day design sprint, understand, define, sketch, prototype and test, and then 2 days to tell the narrative and next steps. So there you have it in 1 minute. The preparation that you'll need to do. And as you can see, most of this work, it's going to be like 75% of everything that the facilitator is doing is just going to be unseen. People are going to notice, they're going to see a problem framing workshop with senior stakeholders, and they're going to see the 4-day design sprint that you facilitate. But the rest of it, they're not going to see, but it's a lot of work to get that design sprint to work really well. So I hope that was useful, and let us know if you have any questions.